This is going to be another video on the Victorian Stairwell, and we're at the really fun part this time. So we're stenciling and we're actually also gilding. So I hope you enjoy it. Okay, so we're now back on the project and we're picking up with the stenciling. This is the stuff that we're using for the stenciling. We've got the stencil itself. You can see it's kind of well used. The two different paints that we've got. Excuse my voice because I've got a bit of a cold. That is a little tub of turpentine, so we can dip a rag in that and just quickly make any mistakes go away. And we had a little bit of difficulty getting the right tools to stencil because we're using a gloss paint that's an oil-based one. It doesn't dry for a couple of days, so when you're moving the stencil you have to be very careful because it gets quite messy. But we did find that these little applicators worked really well. I think they're actually makeup sponges, and Sam found them online. So you put it on your finger like that, and then you just dab into the area where you need, and it's a little bit more precise and slightly easier to wield. We were originally using these type of sponges, but I'll show you, they can be just a little bit too pliant, you know, that moves too much. So that was creating a lot of mess. So we now just use these to kind of steady the stencil. So we've just done from here all the way down to here for now. And then you can't add the next section until this bit's dried because the stencil starts to overlap. So the frustrating thing about this project is you have to kind of do it in stages. There's still quite a bit to do over here. But I think now that it's getting warmer again, it's not as depressing coming out here. I'm just going to quickly show you all the bits and pieces that still need done. Since we stopped for winter, there's quite a lot of little pieces that are not quite complete. So in this next clip, I'm just going to show you what those bits and pieces are. Okay, I thought I'll show you where the project is kind of at because, like I said, we sort of stopped after Christmas. We couldn't really do much while it was cold and dark. So we're starting up again and this is what's left to do. You can see where the skirting board has lots of little bits of green paint on it. And that skirting board, I think, has only had one coat anyway, so that was going to need a second coat. You can also see that the edges of the green paint there, that definitely needs another coat. You can see some of the wall shining through. And I'll need to go in and edge around the stairs there because you can still see just a little bit of zinsser behind the steps. At the time we were doing the green, the little tiny brush was in the house, so I'll do that at some point. I'll just quickly sort that out. That's kind of the same idea with this bit down here, with the black and the green, and then all the extra stencil and space that's needed done. These look quite good on video, but they also need another coat. I think some parts of these have had two, and some have maybe only had one, but I think they'll all need maybe a third coat. In this little area here, I don't know why we did this, but when we were painting the magnolia up at the top, we just painted all of that magnolia as well, and then we were like, oh wait, wasn't that bit supposed to be green? So I think we're going to do that green. Sam said he's going to cut a tiny piece of dado for there, and we can actually fit maybe about 3 of the tulips on the stencil and then paint the rest green. You can see that it really looks like that should be green. So that still needs done. Also, we've not done anything with the balusters. They're all still this like kind of ugly brown colour. So we kind of like the idea of doing these gold. I always wanted black, but I think gold would look quite nice. But we'll see. And then the actual steps themselves, they've got all this blue paint from maybe, I don't know, 10 or 20 years ago. Previous tenant painted everything blue. And this bit of the stone has been painted brown, so we'll probably just paint that black to match our black skirting trims. And I'd love to get the missing balusters replaced, but that's probably not going to happen anytime soon. Another thing that we haven't done is these doors, this one here and this one, and we've not done the frames. And also this one over here as well. See, that one's just got the brown stuff. They're actually the doors for the cafe that's below us. He said that he wouldn't mind if we painted them as well, so we will do that this year. But we're going to make them red like the other doors. So that should look quite nice. And I don't know if we'll do the frame red as well. Maybe. So yeah, there's that. Also, when I was doing some of the Zinsser in here, I did drip quite a lot of paint on it. And I think it's worse on here. Yeah. So I tried to wipe it off, but of course it didn't come off straight away. So we'll maybe just need to give that another little refresh. Settling cracks and things, just, you know, when these mouldings were put on, that always happens. They start to like settle a little bit. So it'll be good to have another coat of paint on that. Don't know if you can see there, just like a little crack, and that'll just be filled with some more paint. And this door frame is not very good. We'll maybe paint that black. This surround here needs a bit more TLC. Where the tulips change direction, there's some little gaps and things here, which that one's actually not too bad, but I think we'll just add, when this is all dry, we'll add another little leaf there to kind of help the flow continue on. There's a kind of an awkward little space here, so when this is dry, we'll just patch in one of the tulips and maybe, I don't know if we'll bother with this little corner here. Maybe a leaf, we could have a leaf curving round there. Something like that. We didn't finish that, so that needs a lot of work. That'll be painted black to match the skirting boards. But it's got a few holes and things. There was electrics running under there, so we'll patch that all up and fix it up. That little section there, that brown section, that'll be black too, so it'll just kind of continue along. These little areas either side of the door, they will probably be saved for the very last. When we finish the stenciling everywhere else, we can then actually cut the stencil up to fit into these little gaps here and there. The actual wood of the window and the astragals, we didn't do anything with that last year, but that could probably do with being stripped and reputtied and all of that. And of course, the floor that Gil has put in. It's pretty, yeah, not very nice. And the Ombudsman unbelievably sided with Gillis. So we will have to do something to make this look better ourselves. And I think getting some edging strips to cover all the gaps around the skirting will help a lot. And I think we're going to just take that horrible piece of bullnose off and figure out something better. And also this little section here that I showed you in the last video, we'll have to figure out that. The steps are also needing a bit of a clean.
I'm going to get a wire brush attachment for a drill, and I'm going to just scrub the whole thing over and over again. The splashes themselves, we didn't scrub them or wipe them, so they're kind of high. Those are blobs of filler as well. So,
oh, that's right, yeah.
So they should chip off quite easily. I might scrape it with something to loosen it.
Yeah, just to loosen it.
Go back with the wire brush.
We'll put some stone oil on the stone steps and the flagstones at the bottom, just to kind of rehydrate it because they're looking quite dry. I forgot to mention that we're also going to glam up our front door, because that's actually a different shade of red to the surround, and that was the shade of red the door was painted when we moved in. Make it all match. We'll add mouldings, much like what we did with the downstairs door. Our front door has never been very good. It doesn't have a lot of draft exclusion at all and lets in a lot of air. So we installed a curtain on the inside just to keep the drafts at bay, and that's worked quite well, but there's definitely more we could do to make the door even cosier. We did originally think that, oh, we'll get a stained glass door. It's not necessary, especially now that we've got that door curtain. We wouldn't really see the benefit of the stained glass. It's actually quite a small door, so some of the bits and pieces that we wanted to put on it, like a nice knocker and a nice letterbox, there might not be that much room once you put the panels in with the glass. In this next clip, we're going to do some stenciling, and I asked my sister to help film because both me and Sam were holding the stencil in place. I'm just a fly on the wall. Just ignore me. Just like natural. Bloody Baron. The master at work. Da Vinci. Da Vinci with his fingers spooger. Cesare Borgia will be after you. Look at the peel moment. Yeah, that's what I need. And that's the last section done. I never thought I'd see the day. Now all that's left to do are some of the little extra leaves here and there, just to kind of even out the flow and fill in some of the gaps, now that these are dry. In this next clip you'll see us gilding, and this is the product that we're using. It's called Pebeo Gilding. Probably not Ged. Ged's a bit of a Blairgowrie word. This is the best stuff ever. I love this wax. I've gilded so much in the house already, and this has made such a difference in the stairwell, so I'll show you the clips of that next.
Okay, moment of truth, we're going to pull this off. Perfect every time.
Is the boss happy?
Yeah, the boss is happy, yeah.
Magnifique. Thanks so much for watching. I'll have another video soon.